Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're all fine and healthy. In this video, I am going to share with you English essay on democracy with the outlines and proper quotations that you can add in the essay. Writing outlines in the start of the essay is very important because it puts a good impression on the examiner. Like he can get a clear idea by your outlines that what's inside your essay. And secondly, it also makes it easier for you to write the whole essay as you have already outlined all the main points. The outlines for the essay Democracy are: Introduction, Origin of Democracy, Benefits of Democracy, Challenges of Democracy, Conclusion. So, these are the important points that we will be explaining in the essay. The first portion of essay is about introduction. What is democracy? How do we explain it? So let's start. Democracy is that form of government in which the ruling power is vested not in an individual or a particular class but in the members of the community as a whole. As Bernard Shaw has defined democracy as a social order aiming at the greatest available welfare of the whole population and not for a class. This is the definition by Bernard Shaw. It is a government by the people, for the people, and of the people. Democracy is the guardian of equality, liberty, and fundamental rights of people. It is a political system that allows citizens to participate in decision making processes and hold those in power accountable for their actions. People know the value of their votes and are able to participate effectively in the political process. So, in democratic state, decisions are taken by people and not by the political organizations. As Aristotle has said, democracy is when the indigent and not the men of property are the rulers. Democracy is based on consent and not force, persuasion and not dictation. The four pillars of democracy are the rule of law, freedom of opinion, freedom of association, and freedom of the press. Education. Education is a must for success of democracy. Wide dissemination and universalization of the education is a pillar of democracy. Only enlightened and well educated people can decide a true democracy. Democracy cannot succeed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. The real safeguard of democracy, therefore, is education. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Democracy has its roots in the ancient Greece, where it was first practiced in the city state of Athens. This portion deals with the origins of democracy. In Athens, citizens were allowed to vote on important issues and they could also hold public office. However, only men who were born in Athens were considered citizens, and women and slaves were not allowed to participate in the political process. Democracy as a concept spread to other parts of the world, including Rome, where it was practiced in the form of a republic. In a republic, citizens elected representatives to make decisions on their behalf. The concept of democracy continued to evolve over the centuries, and today it is practiced in various forms in many countries around the world. In a civil society, democracy makes all the citizens interested in national affairs by giving them a feeling of participation and a sense of responsibility. Democracy is not the law of the majority, but protection of the minority. Albert Camus. The greatest benefit of democracy is that it promotes freedom and equality. Everyone enjoys freedom of thought, action, and speech. In a democratic society, people are free to express their opinions and ideas without any fear or pressure. It also promotes equality by giving everyone an equal say in the decision making process, regardless of their social status, race, gender, or religion. People get the chance to vote on the key issues affecting their country or can elect representatives to make these decisions. Democracy shows not only in its power in reforming governments but in regenerating a race of man. And this is the greatest blessing of freedom, free government. Andrew Jackson. Furthermore, democracy lets people have equal rights. This ensures that equality prevails all over the country. Subsequently, it also gives them duties. These duties make them better citizens and are also important for their overall development. While democracy has many benefits, it also faces several challenges. One major drawback of democracy is growing inequalities among the people. It is quite evident that all the citizens have the right to vote and fight elections, but only rich people have a chance to win the election. The underprivileged are forced to sell their votes to fulfill their basic necessities of life like food, clothing, and shelter. As it is said, if you can't put your values in votes, we don't have a democracy. Jill Stein. In most democratic countries, political leaders and government officials are dishonest, corrupt, and inefficient. As a result, citizens generally do not take any interest in elections. They even have no faith in government officials. That adversely affects the working of democracy in the country. Also, during elections, the role of anti-social elements gets a sudden rise. Voters are forced to vote for a particular candidate or party. Winston Churchill has rightly put, democracy is the worst form of government except for all those forms that have been tried. Now, coming toward the conclusion. To conclude, while democracy has many benefits, it also faces several challenges such as corruption and political polarization. Despite these challenges, democracy remains one of the best ways to ensure freedom, equality, and fundamental rights of citizens. In the conclusion part, we conclude all the points that are written in the whole essay. So, this was the whole essay. If you like the video, do like the video and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.